An introduction to equations. Our learning target for today is that I can solve equation using tables and mental math. I know that solving equations is nothing new to you, and we're just making sure basically that we understand the terminology with solving equations. So you saw this graphic yesterday where you had the equation 3x plus 5 equals 20. We looked at words like coefficient, variable, constant term, expression. We pointed those out in there. This is the breakdown of an equation. So what we're looking at is the whole thing. So an equation, it is a mathematical sentence, meaning it has a verb in there, and the verb is equals, that uses an equal sign. So you have expression, which is just half of the equation. You have equation, which is the whole thing. And later in the year, we're going to look at an inequality, a not equal sentence. Here's something you need to know. An equation is true if the expressions on either side of the equal sign are equal. So is this a true statement? Is 1 plus 2 equal to 8 minus 5? Well, 1 plus 2 is 3, and 8 minus 5 is 3. So yes, that's true. Like over here, 3x plus 4x equals 7x. This is a true statement because I would combine those like terms, and 3 plus 4 is 7. An equation is false if the expressions on either side of the equal sign are not equal. So it's not a true statement. It is false. 4 plus 2 does not equal 5 because 4 plus 2 equals 6. 6 does not equal 5. X plus x does not equal 3x. So these are false statements. Now here's one you may have never heard of before. An open sentence. An equation is an open sentence if it contains one or more variables and may be true or false depending on the value of the variables. I can't know, for sure 2x minus 14 equals 54. I can't simplify this left side because I don't know the value of x. And this is what we call an equation that you're going to be solving. You'll learn about how to figure out what x is. The same over here. There's two different variables, but still I don't know the value of a and b, so it's an open sentence, kind of like it's open for discussion. The solution of an equation. This is something that you really want to make sure that you know. When you think solution, don't just think the answer to the problem. The solution of an equation containing a variable is the value of the variable that makes the equation true. Oh, look there, I misspelled equation. Let's fix that real quick. Okay, there we go. So, x equals 6 is not a solution to this right here. 6m minus 8 equals 5. How do I know that? Because if I put 6 in for x, 6 times 6 is 36. 36 minus 8 is 28, not 5. So x equals 6 is not the solution. What is the solution? Well, we're going to be looking at ways to figure that out. We're going to be mostly estimating solutions. You could be doing this by guess and check. You could be making a table to organize it, but pretty much you're going to be doing this with guess and check. And the equations we're looking at should be done in your head. So if we have the equation 4 equals 7 minus m. So in your head you're thinking and you're kind of praying you're getting it right. Okay, could m equal 5? Well, let's put that in there. 7 minus 5 equals 2, so m is much smaller than 5. So let's go something smaller. Could m equal 3? So let's put that in there. 7 minus 3. 7 minus 3 is 4, and that does equal that. 4 equals 4. It's a true statement, so m equals 3 is the solution. It's a guess and check.
Equations can be true, false, or open. If an equation is true, that means in its most simplest form, the left side of the equal sign is equivalent to the right side of the equal sign. False would be if the two sides of the equal sign are not equal, meaning that that is a false statement. That equation is not true because the left side does not equal the right side. If it's open, that means that there is a variable there. When you simplify it as much as you can, you get x or w or y is equal to, and then another value. So let's look at these examples. For example A, 85 plus negative 10. Well, 85 plus negative 10 is 75. And when I look at that, 75 does not equal 95. Therefore, this is a false equation. It's false because the left side, 85 plus negative 10, does not equal 95. On the second one, on B, 5x plus 7 equals 17. I can tell since there is one variable, that variable is already on that one side, that it's going to be open. And just from what you can remember from last year of solving equations, if I subtract 7 from both sides, that cancels. 5x equals 10, and then divide both sides by 2, x equals 5. Since it has that variable, since it does not equal, a number equal to another number, it is open. It's considered an open equation. And think about it being like open for discussion. It's open to be solved. Now on these, we're going to be looking to see, are these numbers a solution to the equation? In practice C, 8x plus 5 equals 29, and then that semicolon means, is that true for 3? Is 3 a solution? Remember, the definition of a solution is the value of the variable that makes the equation true. Think about the last slide of a true equation, both sides being equal. So to check to see if that makes it true, what you do is you check it, and this is what you will do whenever you're solving equations next chapter. You get a value that you think x is equal to, and what you do is you substitute it back in. So we're going to take 3, put it in for x, and see if this works. Now ideally you could do this in your head, but I'm actually going to write it out for the sake of teaching it to you. 8 times 3 plus 5 equals 29, and we don't really know for sure if this is a solution. I'm going to put a question mark there just to show that we are checking to see if that truly is equal. So multiply first. I'm going to have 24 plus 5 equals 29, and yes, 29 does equal 29. So yes, 3 is a solution to that equation. Let's take a look at the next one. 7 plus 16y equals 11. Let's see if that's true for 1/4. So we're going to take 1/4 and put it in for y. 7 plus 16 times 1/4. Let's see if that equals 11. Now don't stress yourself out saying, oh, I forgot what to do with fractions. Well, 16 times 1/4, remember the word of means multiply. What is 1/4 of 16? If you divide 16 by 4, you get 4. If you split 16 into 4 equal parts. Or if you actually did multiply fractions, 16 over 1, 16 times 1 is 16, 1 times 4 is 4, 16 divided by 4 is 4. So 7 plus 4 equals 11. 11 does equal 11, so yes, this is a solution. Now let's try to find the solution to some equations in our head. You're going to be doing this a lot more than you ever dreamed, and especially since you have a background in equations, you've been solving equations like these for a couple of years, you can definitely do those in your head. But I don't want to assume that you know some things about mental math. So think about what we've been doing. The solution to the equation is the value of the variable that makes that equation true, which makes it balanced. So you're guessing and you're checking in your head. You're putting what you think is the solution back in there. So let's take practice E here. So 4 equals 7 minus y. So you're remembering what you know from last year. You see subtraction, you're going to inverse that, you're going to add. So you're going to add 7 to both sides. 4 plus 7 is 11, and so you say, okay, y equals 11. Well, check it in your head. 4 equals 7 minus 11. 7 minus 11 is negative 4. 4 does not equal negative 4. Therefore, y equals 11 is not the solution. So I gotta select a number that is much smaller. Well, what do I subtract from 7 to get 4? When you think that way, you're like, oh, 3. Okay, so if y equals 3, let's check that. 4 equals 7 minus 3. 4 definitely does equal 4. Therefore, the true solution is y equals 3. Think about this with practice F. M divided by 3 equals 4. So you're asking yourself, what do I divide by 3 that gives me 4? Well, that would be 12. So we're going to think 12. Let's check it. And ideally, remember, all this is happening in your head. Don't be getting aggravated if I'm going to make you write all this out. No, we're wanting to do this in your head. We'll have plenty of time in Chapter 2 of solving big-time equations that you will be writing it out. 12 divided by 3 equals 4. We're checking to see if that is true. Yes, 4 does equal 4. So 12 is the real solution.